Well, attempting to defend the QR code has not gone well for G-Geek there. It received a few body slams over the course of that break. But we're back, and we are getting ready to head on into our next match. We're going to stay upper bracket to watch this one because there's a lot of very exciting matches going on in the upper bracket. But before we dive into the match we are actually covering, G-Geek, I would like to take a quick look and talk about some of the players that have dropped to the lower bracket. Because, I mean, we saw Cowie in that last match, right? We know there are some players who can compete in this upper bracket who have, unfortunately, been sent down early.
Yeah, indeed. We saw Cowie a little bit earlier on in terms of the other matches and the other names that are popping up in my head. I do see Key, of course, that we've briefly mentioned that has dropped down. Same with Lotixo. Cowie, we've already mentioned him. Pika dropping in down as well. Ludis from Czechia also dropping down. Manta from Slovenia down there. Ludis, Manta, Neil. This could be a pretty interesting lower bracket match if you ask me. You got Dunstill also dropping down. Then Tomchan, one of the players towards the sharper end of the field in tech. Definitely a little bit of a surprise to see him drop down there. So yeah, plenty of names that has somewhat missed the mark on the opening round and are looking to bounce back.
Yeah, and I mean, unfortunate for Key, who was in the 2 France, 2 Poland matches in the upper bracket and is now up against Zlatixo, who is another one of the Polish players. So Key having to do a bit of team killing, unfortunately, in both of his matches to kick off the tech solo bracket. But yeah, I mean, look, lots of good players down there. You know, Linko from Spain as well. She's made an early exit from the upper bracket. See what she can get done as we continue in the lower bracket. Lingo is, I think, definitely a name to keep eyes on in that lower bracket too. Going to be interesting, and as you pointed out, potentially that final match in the lower bracket as well. Ludus, Lawler, Manta, and Neil. That's going to be tough for 2 players who will be making their early exit from it as well. But formal, we're heading to that upper bracket instead. The match we are going to be watching is Ratchet, Tween, Holist, and Shainimi. Listen, French pronunciations, you get into it, it's fine. Shainimi is going to be the 4th player in that match. It's going to be an exciting one. Looking at how the rest of the bracket has played out as well. Again, we've got 4 French players, we've got 4 German players, we've got 4 British players in our top half of the bracket still at the moment, and it's going to be hard to see how well some of these other nations can do to take down our top 3.
Bold prediction, we're not going to have those 12 players in the next round. Most of them probably, but not all 12. Surely after this next round, a couple of them go into the lower bracket, right? Like, there are still some other big names from other countries still kicking. Loso still up there, still looking good. Yep. I like Tatu. I really like that 4th heat as well, where maybe, Pubar could get through. Like, there's a lot of big names still there, all right? We're going to break up. We're going to break up the big 3 soon.
Yeah, we are going to try and break up that big 3 Twiggy, but I mean, it's going to be a little bit hard. Epos and Jadon in one match, Jussi and Yurovsky have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, I mean, there are names that, that match specifically is going to be pretty difficult. I think there are names that are poised to be able to upset some of the big 3 here, but some of these matches have definitely fallen in a way where we could see a lot of those players get through, if not all of them, which, hey, look, such is life, I guess. We've got to, later on, they'll knock each other out, and then we can start to, celebrate for the other nations, but until then, oof.
Yeah, it is just it's fun the way things have fallen with 12 players from, as Max said, those 3 kind of nations being in this round. You'd kind of expect a pretty even distribution, but we've quite a few matches, honestly, in this second round of the upper bracket that are missing a German, French, or British player, which is, a result of them being sent up against each other as much of the time as anything else. So gonna be fun to see, including in the match that we are going to be watching. Ratchet and Shainimi both here. Ratchet representing Germany, Shainimi representing France. Joining them, Tween representing Slovakia, and of course, Holist representing Australia. And Formal, I got a question. How well do we think Holist is going to fare in this match?
Well, I think Holist is kind of Australia's premier tech driver. Also the coach as well in that regard. So kind of the one leading the charge. He was the one who was feeding me tips and tricks actually on how to attack this track myself. So you were talking about your coach before. Well, your coach didn't even qualify. Mine's still up here and in it. Let's go, Holist. I think his chances are tough, but you gotta believe.
It's a scary match. I mean, Shainimi is obviously G-Geek, a name that a lot of people will recognize, but I think out of the 4 French players on this lineup is maybe the one that's been less visible to maybe the casual Trackmania fan over the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's true. And Shanimi, of course, has been a bit more of a presence on the national scene. I've seen him, of course, taking part in LANs such as the Gamers Assembly, also taking part in Salan on multiple occasions, as well as Trackmania a little bit earlier on at XP Evo even. Always been a solid, I'd say, internationally, I'd say it's a solid midfielder, right? As far as this particular match goes, I think his chances are also pretty tough as well. And just to do one quick bounce back to the bold prediction of Max, it's not all that bold. And as much as it pains me to say this, I think France is going to be the first one to actually drop multiple players and not a single player from the early part of the winner bracket there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of eyes maybe on this match. Shanimi, it's going to be tough. Ratchet and Tween in particular are the two names that I think, if I had to make a prediction early, would be the two players I see going through from this match. But, Feed in the match with Zykos and Razzie as well could be a little bit tough. The fact that Vortex and Coco are in the same match and Scrappy
It's more the latter. It's more the latter match. It's more the latter match. Vortex and Coco. Feed, I'm not really worrying about him too much. It's more Vortex versus Coco, where I'm thinking, which one is it going to be? That's going to be the main thing. Vortex is coming at the favorite, but anything can happen in Trackmania, and usually does, as I like to say. So just wait and see is my advice there.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see once this round has ended where players have ended up. For now, Twiggy, I'm going to ask you for a prediction which two players you do think are making it through from this match. And do remember, Formal is still here, so you can't hurt his feelings too badly.
Wait, let me just all right, look me in the eye.
Yeah, stare
look me
straight
in
into the camera.
eyes.
Hold on, okay. Ratchet and Tween.
That's it.
Get
He's out of here. Yeah, no, all right, okay. Yeah. Well, one of you has to leave now anyway. I'm not sure which is easier. I mean, Twiggy, we saw you get up and leave during the last match, so I guess
that's
maybe.
Fair.
Yeah. Hey, G-Geek, which two players do you think are making it through this match?
I'm going to have to align with Twiggy, Ratchet, and Tween, but as far as who is first place, this might be a little bit of bias coming my way, but I've been following Tween for all those years. Go on, Marek. Bring this one home.
Yeah, it would be great to see Tween come out on top in this one. I always like seeing Tween do well. Such a lovely guy. And it's always nice to see him do well in competition.
Such a lovely guy, and always someone who always gets pumped up whenever he gets results that are absolutely stellar.
Yeah. With that said, Ratchet, also a lovely guy. Would also be really nice to see him do well. So, it's kind of
true.
The Trackmania community is kind of full of nice. I can't speak to Hollis or Shinimi. I haven't met either of them. I'm sure also lovely people.
Hollis is a lovely guy. All right.
And Shay is a lovely guy as well.
They're all lovely people.
They have to be two losers.
And the two losers are going to be Ratchet and it's going to be Shay. It's going to be Tween and Hollis going through.
In F1 terms, everyone in Trackmania is a Daniel Ricciardo. Everyone's got a big grin on their face that you can wipe off.
I hope not.
Yeah, well, I think particularly the Australians, probably. I do think that's fair. Ratchet and Tween would probably be my picks. I know there was a little bit of national bias sneaking into formals as well. Absolutely. We're going to say goodbye to G-Geek and Twiggy. We're heading on over into game for this one. Myself and Formal to take you through our second match of the upper bracket of the Tech Solo Tournament. And Formal, we're here to make you probably, unfortunately, watch. This is a different match.
This doesn't look like.
I mean, this is also an exciting match. I mean, this is Vortex. This is also.
Yeah,
this is also a good match. I mean, this is probably one of the matches. That's fine. Hey.
I guess we're doing Vortex, Coco, Scrappy, Tatsu.
No. Okay. We'll jump over to server 8 when we get a chance, I believe. Don't worry. I believe in that. I mean, this is also a really exciting match, right? We were touching on this match in our pre-match chatter a little bit as well, where it's maybe a little bit scary for the French. Coco in particular did lose out to Feed in the first round, came second in that match. Vortex, I don't think we're that worried about, right?
No, Vortex, I mean, I liked how Geek before was trying to sell this as it's going to be a close match between the two Frenchmen and how they can. No, Vortex is a favorite to win this entire thing. Coco, top 16. Like, that's how I see it. Maybe that's disrespectful to Coco. I'm sorry. That's kind of where I see it. And I think the results in this one is going to show that way. First heat definitely does Vortex considerably out in front. And just a taste, I guess, of what's happening over there. A little taste
of what's going on in the other matches. We're jumping over to the match that we always intended to watch, that we did predictions for and everything. We're jumping over to match 8 in the bracket. And Ratchet, Tween, Hollis, and Shanimi. We will probably join them mid-round 1. But hey, that just means that we're straight into the drama Formal.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows how that first round went? I mean, if we go in And that turns out to be the one round that Hollis wins, and we miss it because we were watching like G Geeks match. I'm actually going to be so disappointed.
Okay, well, I've got good news for you, Formal. They are in warm-up still over in that other match, so we will not be missing any rounds. We're not missing anything. We got a little teaser of a different match entirely.
That was extra. That was like, that was free. You order a pizza, you get a free garlic bread. That was the free garlic bread. That's what we got.
I keep not eating until far too late in the day while we're doing these broadcasts. I'd kill someone for a garlic bread right now. I'll tell you that up front for free. Oh, good garlic. Do you know what? The best garlic bread I've ever had in my life, Formal, was in Madeira. They do such good garlic bread in Madeira. Oh, it's wonderful. Hey, Trackmania is happening. I can't wax lyrical about garlic bread forever.
Yeah, no, we do have to kind of go into this match. And between these 4 countries, who do you think does the best garlic bread?
I've not had Australian garlic bread. I've not had Slovakian garlic bread. I don't think I've had garlic bread in France. And well, okay, hang on. A winner of this round does the best garlic bread. Slovakia looking great right now.
Tween's looking pretty. I could actually see this order being the garlic bread order right now. And hey, look at that. It was my predictions as well. Tween out in front, you know, the freshest of the garlic right there, just roasting all buttery smooth, just like the lines they're taking. Hollis right behind, you know, that Australian bread. It's pretty fine, but no, into the wall oven, left it in there too long. It's burnt, it's ruined, Noah.
Yeah, overcooked it there. Overcooked the garlic bread and the corner at the same time. Tragic, you hate to see it. Tween will win the round. And I mean, look, I don't think we're going to be expecting much of this in this match. Gaps of over a second between most of the players is a little bit unlikely to continue.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. A couple mistakes early days. Obviously, it can bounce back in this one, but a strong start for Tween. Ratchet got away with one. So it was a very sloppy round for a lot of the drivers right there. Hopefully, nerves will start to settle as we continue along. And I mean, even in these first couple turns, you can see a little bit difference in the line. The Australian driver taking it a little bit wider than the others. Maybe not quite as confident after the mistake we saw before, but Shay, who was the first one to bonk out, now has the lead.
Yeah, I mean, looking pretty solid. Shay was definitely there on pace in the last round. It was just that mistake catching, and you'd expect the same thing for Ratchet over the course of this match as well. The pace for at least these top 3 should be very, very similar throughout the course of this match. Hollis going to have to step up, I think, a little bit, you know, as much as we were saying it'd be great if Hollis did well. I do kind of expect the pace from Hollis to be a little bit slower than our top 3, and that's going to mean pushing, and that's potentially going to mean more mistakes. Right now, though, it is wheel to wheel. All 3 cars were within a tenth of each other, and it's Ratchet at the line who gets the snipe. 4,000ths the difference, and this is the reason we picked this match, right, Formal? This is the gap we expect to see between these 3 drivers. It's going to be incredibly tight.
Yeah, and it's Shay, even though that's second place, who does have a bit of work to do right now. Both Ratchet and Tween able to take a couple early rounds. But if Shay can hold that pace with the consistency, well, they're going to be right up in it till the very end. Once again, starting off this one, and yeah, you can just see the slight differences. You know, the 10th of a second per turn where Hollis starts to fall back. This time, they get a little bit too wide, slide out a little bit too much. Tween, though, not looking confident either. And it looks like it's going to be a Shay versus Ratchet match through the second half of the round.
Yeah, although, I mean, Tween and Hollis are both definitely still in it at the moment. Less than 2/10 between all of the drivers. And one of the things about tech that is so fun is that, you know, there is a little bit of time to be gained in a lot of these corners. You can always risk that little extra bit more. Hollis, there it was, trying to get as close to that apex as possible. Ends up clipping on the inside. Tween, good speed out of here. We'll get wheels down first. We'll see if this line works out. I think it will. Tween just full carrying all of that speed through past Shaynini. Might catch Ratchet at the line, but not quite. As Ratchet holds him off. That's going to be a respawn from Hollis, who was at the back, so that's okay. As Ratchet does win that round, picking up, I believe, Ratchet's second win out of 3 so far, moving to 26 points and a pretty solid lead for Ratchet across 3 rounds.
I am glad, though, how you brought up how, like, again, like, there is overtaking opportunities, particularly in this map as well, because there's kind of like 2 key points where you'll start to see the differences. It wasn't where Hollis bonked, but the uphill turn right after that, coming up to the end, and then that transfer that you get, that's where you'll see, you know, changes in speed. That's where you'll see the lead up to the overtake. So even if the driver you're rooting for is like a 10th or 2 behind coming up to that point, they can make it up at the end. And that's kind of why, you know, this track Surfside is actually so much fun in its own right, because it does get the dramatic conclusions.
It's part of why, I mean, it is part of why tech is so fun in general. We had G-Geek in the last match talking about it's apexes and exits. That's what it's all about, right? Because every corner is actually just the setup for the next corner. You know, you can't rest until you're across the line. And sometimes a line that looks like it's being compromised actually will set you up well. I mean, Ratchet here will overtake, but you can see Shinimi, slower exit speed, got the wheels down first, and therefore gets through into first place up at the front, ends up with a pretty clean round win. And that was all about setup in the middle of the map. That was all about picking the right corners. As Tween went safe, Hollis still not able to catch, unfortunately.
I mean, Hollis did catch and then messed up the ending.
Yeah,
Hollis had it, and that's just giving away points when you're in fourth that you can ill afford to give away. But Ratchet pulls out in front. Very strong surf side for Ratchet. Very, very strong indeed. And they're going to be feeling confident, I believe, moving on to the next track. They still could do it in the first rotation. They could still technically win it in the first rotation, but I feel like we're going through at least 2.
That would be crazy, frankly, in this format. You know, 100-point limit, only 3 tracks. Winning in the first rotation would be nuts. I'd have to check and see if anyone managed to do it. First round would surely have been the place to do it in the upper bracket. You know, kind of one of the players who qualified at the very top, maybe managing to absolutely dominate their match, but it would be shocking if anyone did manage to do so. I'm excited. We've seen some very interesting rounds on this track over the course of our tournament and across the course of the tech team tournament as well. This was, of course, the map where Cowie had his moment against Key. We've seen plenty of people just missing the finish in general as well, trying to risk it all on that final jump and crashing the fin instead.
And we'll see how things look, and you never know. Drivers who are strong on one map, strong on Surfside. Maybe Ratchet might not be as comfortable right here. It's a big maybe, and it might be a bit of a stretch and a hope for the other drivers right now thinking they can come back in it, but Ratchet's going to bonk out, so there could be some truth behind that. You never know. Shay and Tween, though, they're the 2 out in front. They're the 2 battling. Coming to the end, Tween has a bit more speed. Shay, a bit of a tighter line. Now it's going to go a little bit wider. Holds the speed, not quite. They look shaky. I actually think Hollis is going to be gaining right behind, but Tween pulling further ahead. Okay, no, Hollis isn't getting right behind, but Tween's pulling further ahead right now. And no, it's a mistake.
Oh, it's going to be the mistake. It's a little bit tough. Tween is through into clean first as well, and he's going to take that first all the way to the finish line. Happy with that one. I was wrong about the finish on this track. I was thinking of our final track, Chiaroscuro, where Cowie had his moment. But we have seen still drama at the finish line here. That final transfer up onto the finish block does cause some problems at times. You see how quickly that gap closes, though. Ratchet with the last place, Tween with the first, and all of a sudden, Tween goes from 1 point in front of Shinimi to 2 points behind Ratchet.
I'm still happy Hollis was able to get a P2 right there and start climbing it back up. We're going to ignore, though, Hollis for the rest of this round because realistically, they're already out of it. It's going to be a battle between the other 3 right now. Tween in a strange P3, although Tween, I have to admit, watching the lines they're taking, Tween is being the most aggressive right now. Even in P3 and P2, seems to be that little bit closer to the apex. It's not on this turn, but on most of the turns, it's that little bit closer to the apex. It's pushing that little bit harder. Shade's going to fall out as well. Hollis might be able to catch him, but the fight out in front is between the 2 favorites, Tween and Ratchet.
That was Tween getting very close to the last 2 apexes, closing in on Ratchet around the final couple of corners. This last chicane has been a difference maker at times. I like Ratchet's speed down the hill, and Ratchet is just about going to hold Tween off at the finish line. A gap of exactly 1/10 between them, and a clean finish from Ratchet. And I was going to bring up the fact that, you know, Ratchet, one of the German players for their tech team event, this was the map that he was subbed out for. Ratchet did not play on this map for the team, played Surfside and Chiaroscuro for them. So, you know, questions about is he as comfortable on this track as he is on the other 2? After that round, you're probably saying, yeah, sure looks like it.
He's definitely looking comfortable, but at that same token, Tween almost rounded him down last time. He's had little errors the first round. I think it's safe to say this might be Ratchet's weakest map of the 3. And then the fact that he's still winning rounds.
Yeah,
that's good. Oh, Tween? Tween.
Let me point out
that's not where the turn was, buddy.
Ratchet does still hold the 9th best overall time online for this track. I mean, he's definitely still put some time into the track. And I mean, that's scary, right? I mean, Team Germany in general, just as we kind of have been highlighting all day, likely to be a force to be reckoned with over the course of this Tech Solo tournament. But no,
come on, man. Well done, Shay. Well done. You did
I was
it.
like, oh, Hollis is going to get a second place. This is big. What a huge... Oh, no.
I still want to know what Tween was doing with that turn, because like it looked like he just veered to the right in the middle of a straight there. That was
happens,
I think he just started, the slide didn't work.
Yeah, sometimes slide.
Yeah, sometimes slide. A bit awkward there. Here we go though, another round. I'm sick of Australia's heart being broken. All right, so this is going to be Hollis' round. Here we go. Deployer is so bad, 0 points. Absolutely correct. The worst driveway is at the French team. Deployer's on. Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't been cut.
That's toxic. I think that was Hollis, unfortunately, crashing out. No, it was Ratchet. It was Ratchet's car that we saw clipping a wheel, sent off track. So it's Shay and Tween in this battle for first place. Couple of corners left to go. Great speed from Tween, having set up very early for that drift, but that means carrying a lot of speed out of these drifts as well. So back wheel to wheel with Shay. Setting up very wide is Tween. That might give him a closer line through here. Better speed from Shaynimi on the exit, although Tween is coming back at him. Not quite enough. It was very close at the finish line.
There was another snipe.
There was another heartbreak.
Hollis lost about 0.3 of a second on that final checkpoint. We didn't see what happened right there, but
yeah.
Look, I mean,
hey,
credit to Shay. I think Shay has been the big surprise right now in this one, because look, I know I said Hollis. It was kind of, a little bit blinded by the nationalism. We all thought it would be Ratchet and co going through this one, right? We thought that's where it was going to be, and Ratchet and Tween. But Shay's right up there with them. Shay has the pace. Yeah. Shay is getting through, and I don't think it's as slam dunk for those top two names as we initially thought.
No, I mean, definitely Shaynimi is looking really solid in this match. Again, I think interesting. This is one of those cases where we have a player playing in the Tech Solo event who didn't play in the Tech Team event for their nation. And so Shaynimi a little bit more of an unknown kind of coming into this one, maybe, than a lot of the other players, than most of the German players are coming into this match too. So to see Shaynimi doing so well, maybe not unexpected, right? France is a nation of Trackmania players. It's got a lot of very good players to throw at every event if they want to. You'd be almost more surprised if one of the French players bombed out incredibly early in an event. But, I mean, Tween and Ratchet are serious Tech players, right? Like, these are very, very strong players, and Shaynimi is looking really, really solid at the start of this match. Again, not massively surprising, just fun to see. I love seeing close matches. This is going to be, unfortunately, Shaynimi dropping out of this round as he clips on the inside. It's Ratchet and Tween up front. It is Hollis following about 3/10 down.
And Ratchet's hitting some problems as well. So here comes Hollis now to be the one to challenge Tween. And it actually looks like it's gaining a bit of speed on him. I mean, still quarter of a second back. So you're relying on a mistake. And realistically, Ratchet will be the one chasing down the Australian coming through those final turns. This finish, it's been chaotic. And the finishes so far has been what's been holding Hollis back. I'm gonna be real. A lot of fails at the end. This time, Ratchet, well, they're gonna make the overtake before then. On the uphill, it's the German with the speed. Can Tween finish clean? Yes, he can. 1, 2, 3. Tween wins another.
Yeah, very solid from Tween. About 6/10 off world record on that round. Azox, one of the German players, currently holding that world record, and there are 4 Germans in the top 10 for the online records for this map. Again, we're expecting to see this German team do well. Ratchet certainly holding up his end of the bargain there after making that kind of small mistake middle of the track, still managing to chase Hollis down. You could see it was just the aggression in attacking those final corners, just getting so much closer to the inside of those drifts, hitting the apexes more cleanly, and Hollis just not quite able to hold on to second place.
Yeah, at this stage right now, Hollis is doing all he can, but let's be honest, it's a battle between the other 3. And Shay, after having a little bit of an accident that last round, well, they're going to be towards the front until Ratchet holds all the speed through that next turn. Shay's going to try and fight back right now, but the German is looking so confident through the middle of this track. He's starting to run away with it. That's crazy. Shay goes for the inside line, but you're not going to hold the speed through the transfer. Ratchet should get it back. It's actually Tween going very wide, who's going to try to get his nose in on things. He starts to fall back again. Everyone taking different lines, everyone changing leads, but it's all about the finish. Ratchet has the speed. Ratchet has P1, Tween, then Shay.
Great round from all three of those front runner drivers as well. Tween nearly able to catch Ratchet, but just holding on at the very end. It was that wide setup on that final right-hand drift from Tween is really what got him past Shinimi, able to straighten out a little bit earlier, start accelerating again around that final banked corner, just accelerated all the way away from the Frenchman on that round. And this track in particular, I mean, all of the tech tracks have been delivering great rounds, but I do feel like a lot of our highest drama moments, our closest rounds, have come on Chiaroscuro.
Yeah, Chiaroscuro, it's a great map. It really is. It's kind of, obviously they're all built for competition, but something about this one, it hits. It hits just like Ratchet hit that wall back there. And that's going to be the German out on this one. It's Tween out in front right now. Hollis fighting for P2, but yeah, he's just a little bit wider, a little bit sloppier on the exits, but still is going to try to find speed through the tight U-turn. Not enough to chase it down, and we're looking like maybe our safest 1, 2, 3, 4 yet.
Oh! Well, you say that. Ratchet is through. In fact, keep an eye on where Ratchet is relative to Hollis. I don't think he has time left to catch him. The gap is still 7
Do not put that evil on this round.
Surely there's no way that Hollis is good. No, he's not. It's a second place for Hollis. 6/10 behind Tween. Ratchet will take the safe in and survive it. Very important. As Tween picks up an important 10 points just there. I mean, we haven't really talked about how the overall leaderboard is looking in a while. These rounds have been coming in thick and fast for him up. But Ratchet is still sitting at the top. Tween is pretty close behind him, and actually that gap from second to third has really started to open up over the course of these first 3 tracks. Tween 20 points clear of Shinimi.
Yeah, unfortunately for Shay, it's been kind of going backwards than forwards. Not their best track, which has been hurting them. Of course, I say that now they have an entire car length lead and they're pulling away a bit, but you know how it goes, right? Something, casters don't know what they're talking about, but no, Shay was looking good. Ratchet, though, it's through these next couple corners where we've been seeing him find the speed, and we're seeing it again, chasing the Frenchman down, taking the lead so fast through these middle portions. And it's really felt like the difference in, you know, at least holding Tween off as much as they can. Unless they Ratchet crashes, they have been the fastest driver on this track.
Oh, Shinimi was so close to the corner before the corner he crashed on. Tween will also make a mistake. Shinimi's, though, has to be worse. It is all the way back over 3 seconds down. Ratchet holding on to first place. Hollis settling into a place in the match where I think, fair to be, just be there to take advantage if the mistakes come through. No player has been perfect through our first rotation of maps. Hollis starting to pick some points up off the back of that, and frankly, isn't that far behind Shinimi as we finish off on Chiaroscuro for the first time.
That first round is done, our first sort of set through the rounds, and 10 points away for Ratchet going to Surfside where they looked unbeatable. So I think it's safe to say Ratchet probably getting through cleanly right now. Eyes maybe on Tween, whether or not they can continue to hold the other 2 drivers back, but yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, Tween is fast. They were making a lot of mistakes at the end, but they were consistent on the first 2 rounds. So I don't know if we're going to go back all the way to the 3rd track this time around. We want it, right? We want it.
Here's what's very interesting about the first 2 tracks, Surfside and Magneton, specifically as we head back towards them with Shinimi trying to chase down Tween. On both tracks, Shinimi had a better, fastest time than Tween. However, on both of the tracks, Tween's median pace was either very close to, in the case of Surfside, or just significantly better than Shinimi's. And so this is going to be very interesting. I mean, look, I do think Ratchet probably gets out of this match here on Surfside, right? Like, needs 1 win, maybe 2 rounds to get to finalist, should then have at least 2 rounds on the map to close things out, and has looked really, really solid on the map. I don't know, between Tween and Shinimi, things are a little bit spicy. If Shinimi can clean things up, the pace is absolutely there to beat out Tween on these next 2 tracks. If the mistakes keep coming through, though, I mean, Tween could just get out of here quickly before Shinimi can really do anything about it. They're wheel to wheel at the moment on this first round.
Yeah, I mean, as if proving your point right there, right? The 2 fighting for what we think is second. They were going wheel to wheel. Tween, though, is going to fall back. And again, it's that uphill turn where things get a little crazy. Tween really going for a risky lunge. Not going to find it. It's Ratchet who found momentum. But it's Shay who goes for the riskier finish, pulls it off. And a DNF for Ratchet. They don't even want the 3 points for 4th. They're just like, oh, wait, no, I was saying he got 6.
Hang on, something strange is happening there. Yeah, Ratchet did get 6.
The DNF was a lie.
Laggy, right. Doesn't matter.
That wasn't lag. It said D and F. Lag does not spell letters on the screen.
I promise you it does sometimes. Listen, Trackmania servers be doing strange things from time to time. That was the fastest anyone has gone on Surfside in this match so far. A really, really good time from Shaynimi. Only 4/10 off world record as well. It's getting quick. And again, I said it. I think if Shaynimi manages to clean up the mistakes that were kind of plaguing them just a little bit in her first rotation, then Tween's in trouble, frankly. Shaynimi has looked really, really quick so far.
You say it's lag. I say it is the French broadcaster trying to fiddle with the numbers to get Shay back through across to the end. Geeks running cover in the chat. I see you there, but no, I also see Tween now out in front right now, pulling ahead. Shay's going to try to chase him down, but I think they're a bit too far back here. Yeah, Tween's got the safer line, is going to come across, and that's another 10 points going to Tween. And Ratchet is on finalist point as well.
Yeah, that is going to be Ratchet up to finalist. A second and a third place will be 10 points and over 2 rounds. That's enough to get Ratchet to finalist, who we'll have to see. Hopefully is not actually having any struggles with connection or anything like that. That is a clip from Ratchet, just straight up caught a border that nobody else did. Hollis will find an inside wall. For Ratchet, that's fine. That doesn't mean all that much. It is this battle up front that matters.
Because Tween, means something to me.
It means something to you, listen, but is this battle up front? Tween is on 93 points. If Tween can get past Shaynimi in this round, that's finalist mode. If Tween can't, that's not finalist mode. That is 99 points for Tween.
Yeah, and that would be a little bit frustrating for them. But again, with Ratchet kind of well out of this one as well, maybe looking less likely that they're going to finish this one in Surfside. The question is, can Tween find speed in these last couple checkpoints? Here's where you can make those more desperate lunges, Shay. Now it's looking pretty clean, though. I don't think they're giving much up on this one. They're still attacking Apexes. They're still crossing the line in first. A huge swing of momentum through Surfside, getting Shay right back in this one on 84, Tween on 99, and Ratchet still not across the finish line yet.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you're finalist, it's very much the Talladega Nights. If you're not first, you're last. You might as well just kind of cruise around the track from that point on. Ratchet, unfortunately, with the mistake off the start line last time around, really didn't have any chance to convert his finalist mode. This time around is starting to the round off much stronger, is pushing for it, but Tween is standing between Ratchet and making out of this match cleanly before anyone else reaches finalist right now.
Yeah, Shay actually kind of out of this one, and that's a bit unfortunate. A lot of the momentum for the French driver kind of up in smoke. Meanwhile, out in front, Ratchet in a good position to fight to end it here, get themselves across Tween, their biggest rival. Could be the one trying to drag him to the next map as well. Ratchet will be coming from behind. Goes a little bit deep on the turn right there. They're going to lose momentum on the uphill, but it's not like Tween hit it clean either. In fact, Ratchet has more speed. Tween has the tighter line to the line. Ratchet should have it, but Ponks! Ratchet doesn't cross. Hollis gets P2, and Tween goes to finalist point.
That was about to be one of the best rounds and best ends we have seen from anyone all event long from Ratchet. He came so close to brushing the wall on the way through those final few corners. He had it flawlessly. All he needed to do was cross the finish line. It would have been a great time as well, like 54.2 mid or low would have been so fast. I mean, 3/10 off world record, but formally did crash the finish line. And I'll tell you who the big winner is out of Ratchet's crash.
Hollis.
Would you like to know who the big winner is?
It was Hollis, baby.
It was Hollis. It was actually, I was thinking more of the other player who's still more in the hunt, who is Shaynimi, who is still very, very close to the two drivers up front. It now means that, if Ratchet had won in that round, Tween would have been finalist either way, but it would have meant, Tween was one round off of getting out. Now, there's at least one more round for Shaynimi after the next round, right? There's guaranteed it can't be both of the rivals getting out back-to-back rounds.
Yeah, and that is huge. That is, more time to get themselves to finalist point, more opportunities to deny as well. Like, if Shay wins the first round here.
Exactly. I mean,
not only
huge.
do you double deny, you guarantee yourself at that finalist
then.
spot.
Exactly. So, I mean, huge round for Shaynimi with Tween managing to just about beat out Ratchet there, although I think some people would argue fairly that Ratchet maybe beat himself a little bit at that finish line. And Tween now leading the way, and I think this is a track that Tween arguably looked stronger on than Ratchet in our first rotation. I will say Ratchet did have the best time, but Tween's median time, lowest of anyone in the lobby last time we visited this track.
Yeah, again, this was the track that Ratchet, didn't play with the team on. This is where they kind of got benched out, and now they're just falling well and truly backing out of it. Tween, keep it clean, and first place is yours. A bit of a snipe. Ratchet has had 4 rounds now as a finalist to end this, just unable to get it done. So cheer him across the line. Tween gets P1 in this round of 8.
Yeah, the Slovakian will continue on through, looking pretty solid, and pretty happy with how things are going for the Slovakian squad in this one. I know ultimately they were a little bit disappointed with how things ended for them in the tech team, so I think all of the individual players from that squad will be looking to make an impact now in solos. That's Tween with definitely an impact. One of Ratchet or Shaynimi will be sent down, either a German or a French player, dropping to lower bracket here.
Yeah, and it's all, if you're Ratchet, this has been a bit of a disaster. Don't talk about him. Do not talk about him. We are not putting any dark magic on that, all right? It's Shay versus Ratchet. That's where our focus is. And if we just keep it clean. Keep it clean, man. Keep it clean. You got this. And think if Hollis wins this round, too.
Yeah,
this is good for Shay.
Quite dramatic. Yeah. Well, I mean, Shay winning the round is the best thing for Shay. Would put him on finalists alongside Ratchet. No! That is currently where we're looking at. Okay. Unfortunately for Hollis, Shaynimi just needs to hold on to this lead at the moment. Again, we've seen big speed gains at this finish line. We've seen overtakes happen. It's all about setup here. Ratchet is setting up very wide. He's going to have good speed. He made it through both Hollis. Everyone's gone. Wait, Shaynimi's crashed as well. Get anyone snipe? No, Hollis was 9,000 behind Shaynimi. Ratchet DNF'd as soon as he crashed. Drama in the upper bracket of the Tech Solo tournament. We have double finalists, Twiggy. You're not even Twiggy. I saw Twiggy's name in Twitch chat. That's on me.
That was the round. That was
the round. That was it. That was the win for Australia. Oh,
no, Ratchet bonked. Oh, that's bad. That's bad for Ratchet. Again, how many rounds has he been finalist now? 5? And now he's hoping for Hollis to get his win because he may be out of it. Shay doing what he can, but it's Hollis in the lead. The Australian trying to keep their own finalist hopes going. He has looked very strong on this map all of a sudden, and Shay is going to have to find something in the second half of the track.
I mean, Hollis, if this is a first, Hollis is leaving the Ratchet's still here. Hang on a second. What a push from Ratchet, who has managed to climb his way back up alongside Shaynimi and Hollis. Shaynimi and Ratchet both passed Hollis at this point. Ratchet with one of the greatest comebacks I have ever seen in a single round will sneak his way back up into first position and make it on out in the upper bracket.
Where did Ratchet come from? He was out.
Oh, my lord.
Seconds back. What?
That was insane. That was one of the just hardest pushes. Just full risk from Ratchet, full send, finds his way back up and overtakes on pure pace. There was not a mistake from Shaynimi. There was not a mistake from Hollis. Sure, maybe it wasn't as hard a push from either of them. There was like Ratchet's down and out. Don't over risk it at this point. I don't even think that was really the case. The final time for Ratchet was like a 55.4 in and around. I mean, that's not a terrible time. That's a pretty solid time, frankly, on Magneton.
I thought he was done. I thought Ratchet was out. I thought he had choked away his early finalist position, but no. Here we are. Well done. I guess just as everyone predicted, Tween and Ratchet.
Sorry. I got 55.28 with a crash on Magneton is nonsense. That's insane behavior. Someone check in PC.
As we all predicted, Tween and Ratchet through, right? Just like that. Just how we've written up. We are going to a different match now, though. We are going to round 1. And speaking of big names, Loso kind of controlling this one, but Mali is right up there as well. And he called him the most underrated player in Trackmania. Look at him go. He's actually fighting for the lead.
Yeah, I mean, Loso is, let's be very clear, currently dominating this match. Over, that's 36 points in front of anyone else. Maybe he'll close that lead a little bit, but Loso will be hitting finalist as we arrive as well. 100 points to 72 points, 28 points, the gap back to second place. And that does kind of mean, Formal, that this match is going to explode as soon as Loso does close out this finalist mode as well.
Well, you're only getting a taste, all right? That's it. That's it. You get one round.
A little bit nervous about the fact I saw 104 on the scoreboard there. That's
no,
not
don't
how
worry.
this...
That's
not how that's meant to work.
Hey, no. I was told that's lag, okay? That's just lag. Just lag.
Someone is going to need to double check with an admin on this one, because I think the points limit may have been set to 120 by mistake on this match. I'm sure it's fine. Probably okay.
Well, house rule, if you win it, you just step out.
Yeah, that seems fair. That does seem fair. Yeah, I mean, it says G-Geek is calling out in Twitch chat there. That's kind of the point I was making, right? That Loso has claimed, based on the scoreboard that we can see, the fact that Loso has probably won most of the rounds, there's going to be 10 pointers up for grabs all of a sudden as soon as Loso does manage to convert this finalist, which, to be clear, Loso is in finalist. We have a quick tech pause right now to try and get the server to recognize that fact as well.
Yeah, that was... Whoops. A little bit of a whoops moment there.
Sure, it's fine. It'll be okay.
You told me when the wrong thing comes up, like, 104 points or a DNF on a driver that crossed the line.
Very different scenarios just here, okay? I was correct in my scenario. It was different in the other scenario. It's fine.
I just want to know what the French have against Loso, because this conspiracy right now, it's running deeper, all right?
What conspiracy? I don't think there's any conspiracy.
No, I'm just saying it's a French admin team. We have French casters waiting behind us right now, and all of these little mistakes keep benefiting the French. All right, I know there's no French drivers in this heat. I know they're not there.
Even a French driver in the match. What are we talking about? There is a classic. We are getting the Finnish versus Norwegian Scandinavian battle featuring Slovakia and Poland, but Klavny and Levon currently bottom of the scoreboard. Maui really driving very well, it looks like, in the match, with Loso dominating as it seems he has been doing on the scoreboard, with now already at finals mode hit 100 points already. The fact that Maui has managed to create this big of a gap to Klavny and Levon, it probably feels fair to say that Maui is our most likely second driver making it through this match.
Yeah, Maui would be the one who I'd be looking at right now, but I'm also watching Loso just try and end it here. I'm not seeing finalist, by the way. I'm just seeing 100.
Formal, we're not mentioning that. No, sure, that's fine. Hey, Klavny's touch. Let's focus on that. Now he's into second place, looking to pick up maybe another 6 points.
If I see 110.
That should be, to be clear, whatever happens, that is Loso making it through to the next round. Yes. Whatever the server says, that is Loso making it through to the next round.
He qualified!
Huge! Jump scare. Nobody saw it coming.
Well, he's not driving, right? No, or is he driving? Wait.
No, he's not driving. No,
he's not driving. Okay, so he is through. Everybody is aware. Loso is through. It's all good. Yeah. Early bonks happening as well for Levion, so they're kind of out of this one at the moment, and I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad scoreboard fixed itself, and we'll see who gets that second place, because now the battle is
Did you not see the tech pause? Clearly admin sorted the scoreboard out. Scoreboard didn't magically fix itself, Formal. Come on, let's give some respect to our admins.
What the French admin, the French production running it?
Yeah.
French garlic bread will never be a thing. Not while Portugal is still in it. As Maui comes up the hill right now. They've got a nice lead out in front, looking very, very strong. And unless they flub the finish, which I don't believe they will, Maui will go ahead and get 10 points closer to that second place finish.
Yeah, very, very solid from Maui in this match. I mean, Loso, again, one of the best drivers that we saw in the tech team tournament. So to even have been taking any round wins away from Loso at this point of the bracket is solid. I mean, Maui is looking really, really good in this bracket. In fact, I'm just looking back at how the scores have gone for everyone across the way. Loso won nearly every round. Klovny won a single round. Maui managed to beat Loso in 3 rounds. That was it.
Ooh.
Loso lost 4 rounds over the course of that match.
Well, it looks like Maui's going to be winning this one too without Loso being in the equation. 2 early bonks makes this, well, a bit of a parade for Maui as they get ready to come across the line. This one moved them to 94 points, or 98 points as well. I can do math, trust me, and guarantees themselves a finalist position in the round after this. So 2 rounds away from that finalist spot. Maui, they're looking very good to get that P2.
Yeah, 98, it's not quite as bad as 99 in terms of point scores you feel terrible about being on, but you know, I mean, it's okay. Just don't miss the fin. We'll make it through pretty cleanly, and Maui will be moving all the way up to 98 points. And as you said, it honestly feels like maybe 2 rounds away from closing this match out. I think Klovny and Levon just a little bit too far back at this point to really make a strong push to try and get the upset happen. The fact that there is still 2 of them, maybe if Maui forgets out to drive as we hit the next track, things will work out. But it does look like, I mean, Maui is guaranteed at this point, barring a DNF, to be on finalist as we move to our next track.
Yeah, and I just don't see a DNF happening. The drivers are all too strong, too consistent at this stage to completely crash out, especially knowing all you need is 2 points. But I think they want another round to win here. Look at that. They're already pulling ahead. I mean, already just attacking the track. Maui looks to be in the zone now. Klovny is getting close, and they might be able to contest at the end of this one, but it's going to take a bit of a lunge, and we're not seeing it yet.
Yeah, it's going to need to be a very strong finish from Klovny to pick up the 10 points here. And I mean, look, while Maui is guaranteed to hit finalist here, picking up those 10 points for either Klovny or Levon, if there are still any dreams of beating Maui out in this match, you really do need to be getting these first place finishes. But not going to be the case this time around. Another strong finish from Maui of 54.3 is a solid time from what we've seen at this point of the bracket on Surf side. And that will be Maui moving to finals mode as we head to our next track, which I'm going to guess, Formo, if I had to take a guess, it's going to be Magneton. I suppose there's an accent on it. Magneton. Who?
Player's flag looked Australian to me at the end right there.
Is the player false flagging? Mods?
No,
he's false flagging.
That's, I wouldn't call it that. I'd call it, you know, seeing the correct path to enlightenment.
Seeing the light.
Seeing
sure.
the light.
Yeah, could be.
You can see it in my glasses right there. It's right in front of me. It's
Mostly
very
I can
bright.
see my face. I'm waving to myself. Yeah.
Hello.
I've been God, casters are simple creatures, easily amused.
Shiny, light, fun, like a cat.
Yeah.
Launch across the room. But yeah, it's just, I don't want to say it's a sure bet because nothing ever is, but with the way how Maui's been driving, absolutely on top of it all. And
yeah,
I think unless something catastrophic happens here, it should be over in 1 or 2 rounds.
I'm scared by cars flying directly at my face.
I
to
love
kick this
that.
round off. It is sick. I do love it a lot. We are on to Magneton. I'm going to honor the accent in the middle of the name of this track. Maui's out to an early lead, and look, it's really up to Levon at this point. Klovny has already dropped over a second behind the 2 leading cars, and Maui starting to pull away. Very different lines just here. Levon looking for speed up the hill, but that direct line from Maui just a little bit shorter, pulling him all the way in front.
Yeah, and it's just getting further and further and further right now, pulling ahead in this one. I mean, Levani, they're not really in the running unless we get that crazy finish again where everybody crashes and burns. I don't see it happening. In fact, Maui's actually a pretty safe launch over up towards the end. That's going to do it. Loso and Maui get through. They also advance through the upper round of 8.
Yeah, pretty solid from Maui as well. I mean, look, Loso, the big name, dominated this match, frankly, start to finish, exited before anyone else had broken 70 points as well, is really, really impressive from Loso. But Maui, I think, looking at potentially trying to make a pretty deep run into this bracket as well, looking really, really solid in that match and beating out 2 strong drivers from the Scandinavian countries. I mean, that's, you know, Levon and Klovny are not names to be taken lightly. Klovny, part of a Finnish lineup that did do pretty well in the tech team tournament. Levon, a very solid player in their own right too. And well, I suppose, Formal, the main thing I'm saying is we can stop talking because, look, we've got other people that we can bring back to panel and we can make them talk instead. G-Geek, what do you think of what's going on in this upper bracket of the Tech Solo tournament?
Well, it was kind of what we expected. We saw France being the first nation to drop not just one, but multiple players out of the winner bracket. And I gotta say, that was a premium comeback that we saw in the final round of Ratchet there against Shay and Hollis. That was sheer willpower, and as you said, it was on pace. No opportunity was left open by both Hollis or Shay Nimi for Ratchet to actually come back, and that was such a great sight to see. And Loso, this is going to be a bit of a tough matchup for him because he has to face Tween in the quarterfinals, and we're going to get into the quarterfinal matchups later on in the broadcast, but Loso, absolute unit as we expected him to be, around a 40-point lead by the time you guys were joining into the middle of the match. So no surprise there. And yeah, also no surprise, someone that I did not really have any qualms about making it through. Marek Tween making it through as I was hoping for. And Feed as well. 102, Zykos 101 winning their matches as well, among the other results that we've seen here.
Yeah, really solid from a lot of the drivers that we'd expect to be doing very well in this upper bracket at the moment. Down in the lower bracket as well, of course, we will have had our first eliminations starting to come through, which, hey, I mean, Twiggy, anyone that you've been looking at, have you been keeping an eye on that lower bracket for us, seeing anyone getting eliminated?
The lower bracket, I have not been keeping an eye on. You may notice that all 4 British players are in the upper bracket, so, you know.
Wow.
All right, fair point.
Wow.
Okay, hey.
The British can't cook garlic bread either, okay?
Wait, what's garlic? I only know about salt.
Yeah,
exactly.
No stress. Hey, players that I will note have been eliminated at this point. Some of the players who were maybe a little bit close scraped through the seeding in the end. Shoffy and Manta a little bit further down in that lower bracket. When we scroll down, you'll see that. Neil, unfortunately, eliminated as well. He was in Twitch chat making excuses about time zones, which, I'll be fair, it is the devil's hours in the US right now. I mean, it's still pretty early in the morning, and Neil has been up for a while at this point playing Trackmania. Tom Chan making it through for Poland as well. We've seen him do pretty well. Some good rounds that we saw from the Polish driver in the Team Tech tournament. It's not going well for the US, I think is the main thing here, Formal. There's a few US players eliminated. We are also seeing JS eliminated for Australia. The rest of the Australians, the only other Australian one we just saw eliminated from the upper bracket is Hollis. Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah.
Hey.
He'll bounce back. I also am surprised to see Carrizo Tina had a bit of a roughie. Didn't even get to finals point in a heat where I thought they could do quite well. But you already said Flimsy not making it out. That was the only one I saw where everybody was in the finalists and had a chance to get out of that one. But yeah, Flimsy and Tomix each coming a little bit short. Losers 1-2, Ignite, and Marika, I've got to get the name wrong. Estonia gets through for a double Estonia loser bracket. Marioka, thank you. Yeah, double Estonia lower bracket with Scrappy involved. That's
oh my lord, yeah,
that's a funny one.
Oh dear. Oh, that's tough. Scrappy about to make enemies with the whole nation of Estonia, it feels like, in the lower bracket at the moment. Or possibly Estonia is going to make enemies with Scrappy. We'll wait and see how that shakes out in the near future. We are going to throw to a quick break. We will be back with more of that lower bracket action in the Tech Solo tournament for the Trackmania games. There's a lot of moving parts here. There's a lot of disciplines going on at all times. Looking forward to seeing how the next round shakes out. See you very soon. Back to the little car. Drive it into a QR code.